So in today's video, we're gonna talk about how to successfully switch your HOA management company. So in today's video, I'm gonna provide you with 5 tips, or I would say 5 of the most crucial items that you will need in order to make the change. While when making a change, it can seem very overwhelming and very challenging, what's more important for you to focus on is where you wanna get to and the reasons why you're looking to make the change. So the first thing I wanna recommend is understand what your current situation is with your current provider. So if you currently have a management company, you wanna make sure that you've had your contract reviewed by your association attorney to understand if you can cancel, what are the terms to cancel, and if you need to pay any penalties, what those penalties will be. For my self-managed communities, many times they miss this step because they have an accounting firm, but it's equally as important to look at your accounting firm to see if you have any contracts with them and if there will be any penalties to cancel such agreement. The second tip, understand the new direction or where you want to get to. Before you start interviewing different management companies or providers, you want to know is what's the vision with this new provider? What worked with your current provider and what didn't work? So that way, when you're setting up your interview questions with the company that you're looking to switch to, that they're hitting at least 80 to 90% of the questions that is a must, that without those, you will not make the change. It makes no sense just to make a change purely on price or purely on features that in reality do not benefit your community. So you wanna make sure that whoever you're selecting aligns not just with your values, but also with the vision that you have for the community. Next, you wanna make sure that you have the financials for your community association. So the financials are normally a packet that includes your balance sheet, income and expense, your accounts receivable, accounts payable, and so forth. Why is this important? Because whenever you're interviewing with the management company, they are going to ask you for the financial statements. Why? Because here at Affinity, when we're being interviewed for new management, at the same time, we're interviewing the association as well. Once we understand what your vision is, it's important for us to review your financial statements to see if we're even able to get to that vision with the current funds that you currently have. So it's important to have that prior to you going through the interview process. And either way, you're going to need to provide that information once you've selected whoever the new provider is. As a pro tip, we've helped many associations that maybe don't have the financial means or the budget for a full management change. However, once we analyze it, we can provide you with tips or different ways that you can structure your budget in order to make that change that's necessary. Don't let, because of what one provider is charging you and another one's going to charge you a bit more, avoid making the change. Because what you should be looking at is what is the cost of that pain that you're going through. So we can assist you throughout that process. Next, you wanna make sure that you have your resident contact information. So this is not so important when you're interviewing other management companies, but once you've selected the new provider, this information will be necessary. In our experience, when we're dealing with a change with most providers, they are working in a professional manner. However, the earlier you have the information, the better you'll be prepared to make the change. So before we go any further, if you'd like to receive a checklist of the items that you should have, scan the QR code here, and we'll be glad to send that information to you. And the last tip is really more for associations that have on-site management, which are properties that we really look for, is you wanna be able to have the pay rates and the schedule for the team members that are currently serving your association. Remember that when you're interviewing with a management company, they're gonna wanna understand what's the current structure that you currently have. Now, I do know many board members hesitate on providing that information, but ultimately what this allows is for us to see how you're currently structured. We can see if that structure aligns with the vision that you currently have in mind, and we're already providing you that consultative approach in the interview process. So that way we could say, okay, you're structured properly, or no, you're short-staffed, and we can have that early conversation during the interview process, and you can determine if it's the right fit for you or not. So hopefully you've gained some knowledge on how to be able to make a change. It's important that as an association, if you are struggling with not getting projects done, having challenges with finances, realizing that you don't have the team to help get your association where you need to get to, that you go through the right process so that you can have a successful transition from one company to the next. And one last tip, I know I said it was only 5, but when you're interviewing the management company, you should ask if they have a transition team to be able to help you onboard. If you want more information on how to make a change, or if you want a checklist, please reach out to our website, managedbyaffinity.com, and we'll be happy to provide you that information. So if you like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe, and also share with any other fellow board members. I look forward to seeing you in our next video.